Well, hello and welcome back to another video of the F122 Drive Crimo with McLaren, episode number 60 today for the Canadian Grand Prix Season 4, round number 6. If you missed the previous episode uploaded on Monday at Baku, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one, especially the fact it was more of a damage limitation race, that one, with getting nevertheless P4, but the first time outside the top 2 this season. Anyway, R&D wise, we're going to put a couple of durability upgrades on, because we've got 2 of them on major. Those are going to come in, but obviously we're pretty much fully maxed out on every other department, except we have got some more engine upgrades to come from Porsche. That's pretty much it. So whether or not there's going to be a regulation change further down the line, we'll have to wait and see. No changes elsewhere, so it's still Ferrari, Mercedes and Red Bull that catch chasing power. Alpine's still there as well, but they are being caught by the bottom half of the grid. They need to be careful that they don't slump in from being a top team to a bottom team, as they're unlucky. Not say bad start to the season really, because compared to Verstappen's start at the start of last season and compared to season 2 when they were championship challengers with Max Verstappen, although Lando Norris is now at the team with Verstappen back at Red Bull, of course. First run P9, but there is a bit of a change, as I mentioned in the previous episode at Baku. We didn't get to see it, but obviously I've changed the tyre compound allocation to softer, so now I get 2 soft compound runs during qualifying, and then that's able to set another set of soft tyres for the race, like we have done before that update decided to allocate us 2 sets of softs, a medium and for some reason a set of hard tyres for qualifying as well. But anyway, speaking of qualifying, we set a purple first sector. Middle sector I've never been any good at, so we're a bit up on Norris, who I think might be ahead of us. One of the Alpines is definitely ahead of us on the roads, and we're trying to get the best out of that hairpin. Only slightly up on our previous best time, 7/10 of a second. Sorry, 7/100ths of a second. That's not great. I want to be doing a little bit more. Considering the fact we set a purple sector 1, a little bit too much curving, we'll try to keep to the right for the straightest line, and it's enough. But only P10, and I find this in all the career modes we've done recently, where the AR just OP in qualifying in the later periods compared to their race pace, which is unfortunate. Piastri P2, so at least he's not on pole. We can work with it. We've got Red Bulls, Mercedes, Ferraris and Alpines in the way as well. So we'll see what we can do from 10th place on the grid. It's time for the race to today's Canadian Grand Prix.
It's time once again then to go racing here in Montreal, the second largest French-speaking city in the world and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. If you want flat-out racing, you've come to the right place this weekend, as it's full throttle for 59% of this 2.7-mile circuit, peaking at around 210 miles per hour going into the final chicane. But that speed requires discipline, and there are more than a few close walls here just waiting to punish drivers with a heavy right foot. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Hamilton, Norris, Ocon, Phoenix and Pierre Gasly, Mick Schumacher, Magnussen, Alex Albon and Bottas, Joe, Latifi, Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll, Tsunoda and Robert Schwartzman. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? With me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Now, can I talk to you about Sebastian Vettel? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed, they'll be starting out of position today due to power unit component changes. It's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a much more aggressive approach today to make up for that compromised start.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Thanks, Mark. Race strategies are 1 stop from soft to medium. Did have a look at medium to stop. Thanks to Sebastian Vettel, by the way. As we start P9, actually, thanks to his penalty. So I was going to lower the fuel slightly, but there's still that fuel glitch, of course. So 5 red lights then. The Canadian Grand Prix, 9th on the grid. And after a bit of a hold, away we go. And it's initially a good start. Back to the knock-on. We're going to move up alongside him, and then of course that second phase always a dive down the inside. Norris locks up, and then there's contact with Norris. So we get a warning from the FI. We're going to get a replay. No damage for us, fortunately. But yes, he just locked up, and then there was contact. He's lost his front wing actually. So again, another disaster for Alpine and Lando Norris, who's had a dreadful start to the season as well. Then a replay on board with Norris. He locks up, and then just starts to steer in a little bit too much there. I know it's a bit 50-50, but I think that's a little bit more on him for not being aware. So we're going to make easy work here of Max Verstappen at the hairpin, force him a bit wide, get the ERS, get the power down. I was saying that the AR got such good traction out of the hairpin. Well, Verstappen's going to be on that left-hand side now. Can we avoid, defend the position? Yes, we can. He goes a bit too deep, trying to not make the overtake, and we're able to keep the position. There's a replay of the hairpin. As I say, didn't want to take Verstappen a bit too deep, but I don't know if there's a little bit of a lock-up or not, but yeah, a slight mistake there, but nevertheless we have made the position, and now we're going to try and do the same on his teammate with a little bit more of a dive bomb there, but Leclerc doesn't find former teammate there, up to P4 now. Next up is our current teammate trying to go around the outside the hairpin. Nothing working for Piastri there, and he's going to escape. But now we've got DRS coming into play. We should be able to get past him here. Even though he's got DRS, I feel that we're faster in this part of the track compared to him. He's going to try and squeeze. We're going to dive down the inside, just about make that curb, that second curb there. And that is, the FIA have given that as a legal overtake. Just, as I say, just about made that second curb there. Although it was a poor exit as well. As we go down to turn 1, there's contact. Somebody from, I think, Piastri's hit us. Safety car deployed as well. It was Piastri that hit us. What was he thinking of? That was a dive bomb out of nowhere. And yes, I know you might be saying, excuse me, oh, didn't you do the same thing on Norris? I wasn't that far back, I don't think. And also, he did turn right at that curb, like Hamilton did in Imola. Similar situation there. So Piastri's lost his front wing. I think we are so lucky to not have any damage whatsoever at all. But the safety car is going to come out at the perfect time for everyone to make their pit stop. Piastri's going to have to double stack with me, and he's going to have to front wing change as well. 2.5 second stop, not bad. As well, become ghosting for a Haas, a Schumacher. He was having a good run of results. Yeah, got some points last time out. No, not last time out in Imola. Sure, he can be somewhere around. Well, a couple of people have yet to stop, including both Alphas. As well, although they are last in the championship, but it's Schwartzman's Alpha teammate Joe Guanyu leads from Latifi second, Bottas is third, yet to stop, and there, of course, is your effective race leader when everyone makes their stop, Carlos Sainz. We've jumped Russell in the pits, as has Leclerc, so Russell's had a poor pit stop. We're effectively P2. We're going to make easy work of Schwartzman down the inside, given the room on the outside through turn 2, but we can just be able to get the power down with the better grip, the aero that we've got in the McLaren compared to the Alpha. Making a good move though is Max Verstappen on the outside, turns to the inside. Lovely little move by the one-time world champion, and he's able to knock that position, but obviously we don't want the likes of Leclerc and Russell getting past us, so we're going to put Stroll in between myself and Leclerc, who's on the move, and he's past Schwartzman as well. So as now we look to try and get past Sonoda, and I think then maybe Sainz. Is Sainz reachable? We'll have to wait and see. Sonoda comes into the pits. There's been a... Oh! Sainz is going slowly. What happened there with Bottas? He squeezes us almost Hamilton-esque to... Sorry, Button-esque to Hamilton from 2011 as well. But eventually we do make the overtake, and that will be for the effective race lead. So, yeah, Sainz got held up by trying to overtake Bottas. A bit impatient from the Spaniard, and he's lost the effective race lead once everyone pits as well. And Bottas is putting up such a battle against Russell that surely he's got a bit of floor damage from that airborne bit as well. And then Gasly is getting involved. Gasly's for position here, unlike was it Baku when he did that alternate strategy. Gasly benefited under the safety car, so he's ahead of Verstappen as well. So yes, Russell from Verstappen and Gasly and Verstappen, behind myself and Sainz. And then Schumacher is also in the points, as we're watching Sonoda, who isn't in the points, and Sonoda is out of the race and then gets annihilated by Schwartzman. So that's going to be another safety car. And, well, this is a rare thing. Not done this on F122. That's been the race leader when there's a safety car. So we're going to floor it now, try and catch Sainz napping there, and yes, we do indeed. The gap's increasing as we go into turn 1. Now let's see if we can maintain that gap. We're right on board with the Sir Lewis Hamilton, who's not had the greatest time of it, but he's going to make a double dive bomb on Piastri. Has a look at Ocon, but Ocon gets the better traction, so that's Piastri down there, yet another position. He's out. I think he's outside the points currently, like P12 as well. So we've jumped to the penultimate. That Sainz has got DRS. We're going to defend the inside. Sainz goes too deep. We give him room on the inside there, to be fair. Sainz, great race, respectful racing. Sainz knew he was going too deep there and was unable to get the move done as well. So watching, Verstappen is getting Gasly back for 5th place. You can see Russell has left him behind there. Verstappen down the ins, Russell and Leclerc, have left him behind as well. Leclerc and Russell are still there, but it's looking like it's a 2-horse race, and that has slowed Sainz up a treat at that corner. He tried to go around the outside, but in the end he just couldn't get the traction down, and that was the end of Sainz's momentum, because we've got half a second gap. And up to the line, thank you very much. It's our 2nd race win of the season. I will definitely take that. Great racing with Sainz. Not so great with either Piastri or Norris. So overall, a good race win.
Truly magnificent drive then, and a great performance from the entire team to secure victory here in Canada. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream today, and the team will be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure, and no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight.
I'll definitely be celebrating. 2nd race win of the season as well, and Piastri's not there. Sainz, to be fair, he's starting to be consistent, and we might need to think about him as a potential rival. But he didn't have that kerfuffle with Bottas. I don't know if I'd have been able to have caught him or not. We had fastest lap, but we set good pace. But in the end, there we were struggling on the mediums. Piastri not scoring. He did get back in front of Hamilton for P11, but with Piastri not scoring, Sainz is the closest challenger, 21 points behind. Piastri 31 points behind. Leclerc 47. So I'm starting to think Leclerc might be out of it, along with Russell, Norris and Alpine. Terrible time, as is Verstappen's return to Red Bull, not looking great. Vettel and Hamilton also suffering there. In terms of the constructors, though, it is pretty easy for McLaren. There's a big battle between Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes starts slightly further back, Alpine cut a group, and in the battle, there's a huge battle going for P6 with AlphaTauri leading Haas and Williams. So yes, in terms of the rivalry with Verstappen, it's 10 all. So although we're thrashing him in the races, it's still 10 all in the rivalry. But I think with a bit of consistency, we should be able to beat Verstappen, because he's not had a great return to Red Bull. Only one podium, but he just needs to find that consistency that he took into a title challenge in season 1 and season 2. Next time out will be Britain, Silverstone, the home race. I will definitely be looking for victory there. It's actually a good track on this year's game for me as well. We won there in season 3. I think we can win there in season 4 as well. And then Austria will definitely be another one. Then Hungary. Not so sure about that. I think Hungary will be definitely a struggle as well. But Britain and Austria will be out next week. So yes, if you have enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more F1 22 Drive Career Mode videos as when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.